is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony, and today we are in the all-new 2020 BMW 750i xDrive, courtesy of Apple BMW in York, PA. This thing has everything, so many packages on this one, so I am quite excited. So as always, let's start with pricing. And so pricing for the 2020 750i xDrive will start at $102,650. And of course, once you add on a couple of packages, the price does tend to climb kind of quickly. This one MSRPing for approximately $120,000. But so that when it comes to the power plant, the 750i will be powered by a 4.4 liter twin power turbocharged V8 engine, putting out 523 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, 553 pound-feet of torque, available from the power band of 1,800 to 4,600 RPM. Power, of course, sent to all four wheels through BMW's full-time xDrive all-wheel drive system. And that power is going to be sent to the ground through an 8-speed automatic with paddle shifters, what you guys know we will be testing out in a little bit here. But so when you add all of that together, 0 to 60 time comes in at approximately 3.9 seconds. Top speed 155 miles per hour, electronically limited, of course, with MPG numbers coming in at 17 in the city, 25 on the highway, taking premium unleaded fuel. But so then, before we do any kind of paddle shifter test or acceleration test here, I do want to mention there are some driving modes located just to the left of the shifter. They will include Eco Pro, Adaptive, Comfort, Comfort Plus, and Sport. And so I've been leaving it mostly in Sport mode, but the driving mode I think most people will probably enjoy the best, maybe even myself, is the Adaptive driving mode, because what that one actually does is adapt to your driving style. So therefore, if you do tend to floor it a lot, it's going to automatically throw you in that sport mode without you having to change it. Or if you are stuck in rush hour traffic, it is going to automatically throw you in the Eco Pro Comfort mode to save some MPGs there. So it's kind of like the BMW has a mind of its own and it knows what's best for you. So that's a pretty cool driving mode for that reason. But either way, those driving modes are going to adjust things like the shift points, the throttle response, steering sensitivity, and the suspension tuning as well. But so now that I have all of that covered, I think you guys know what we have to do next. Already have it in that sport driving mode, my personal favorite. So what do you say? And actually, to put it in that manual shift mode, if you wanted to go that route with just the paddle shifters, car not shifting for you, what you're going to want to do is slide the shifter all the way to the back and to the left, and that is going to give you full control over the shifting. So with that being said, I think you guys know what we have to do here. Let's downshift, and we're in second gear. Let's test out the paddle shifters. Oh my goodness, this car's fast as stink, and I didn't even push it, but dang, those paddle shifters react quick. Absolutely no issues with reaction times. Absolutely love them. But now that I've got that out of my system, you guys, I think it is time for a nice little acceleration test without the paddle shifter. So I'm just going to slide the shifter back to the right there, and that is going to let the car do the shifting. So got a little uphill climb here, but I have a feeling the 750i it's not going to phase it. So come to a stop, and let's hit the gas. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm lost for words, man. The 0 to 60 at 3.9 in an all-wheel drive system feels so much different than 0 to 60 at 3.9 in my own Mustang GT. This thing immediately puts the power to the ground. This acceleration is absolutely amazing, possibly because of that full-time xDrive all-wheel drive system, but there was no spinning. Instant power, instant acceleration on demand. I'm absolutely in love with that acceleration, essentially. But so then, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And so, of course, you will find four-wheel ventilated disc brakes as expected, along with composite front rotors and brake pad wear indicators. And by the way, when it comes to the braking feel, yep, not gonna have any issues there. But then, so touching on handling and suspension a little bit, up front you will find a double wishbone multi-link aluminum front suspension. In the back, an integral V multi-link aluminum rear suspension with twin tube gas pressurized shock absorbers and a 2-axle self-leveling air suspension system. This one is quite cool because, reason I mention this, there's actually a little button for the air suspension system kind of to the back left-hand corner of the shifter there. But so what that means essentially is that you can manually adjust the ride height. So where somebody's nice driveway that lives way out in the country that is not paved perhaps, you can therefore raise up that air suspension to give you a better ride height so you don't end up clipping any rocks or anything like that. So that is definitely quite nice as well. And then if you wanted to, if you planned on taking this thing to the track because it's absolutely ridiculously fast, you could therefore then lower the suspension once again, giving you a little better aerodynamics if you wanted it. So another cool little tidbit though when it comes to the 2027 series suspension is it does now come with a carbon core. It even says it right behind the driver's side door there. Carbon core or carbon fiber, meaning a much stiffer, more durable structure. So that's definitely nice as well. And of course you have the adaptive damping system as well. So that is definitely going to help out with the ride quality, as well as if you're doing some heavy cornering, it's going to tighten up the suspension during heavy cornering, giving you less body roll and better handling overall. So really the best of both worlds there. And honestly, that's probably the first thing I noticed when I got into this 7 Series is it is possibly the smoothest ride I have ever experienced. And I've reviewed probably 350, 400 cars at this point. This thing has an insanely smooth ride. Absolutely no issues with it soaking up PA's road imperfections. It's really quite amazing. As far as the steering feel goes, it feels nice. It is as expected. Not too heavy, but not too loose either. Probably leaning a little towards the heavier side of things, which I do happen to like. Not only that, I always have liked this in BMWs. The bolsters on the steering wheel are definitely on the larger side. So I guess what I'm saying is I like the way the steering wheel feels in your hands. Definitely gives you a better feeling of control. So that's pretty nice as well. When it comes to cabin noise, not a whole lot of exterior noises coming into this cabin. Of course, you would expect that in a $120,000 car. If you guys do hear some air, it's basically just the climate control system because I don't want to sweat when I'm making the video, but cabin noise is definitely quite nice. And when it comes to visibility, this is probably one of my favorite parts. I've never seen this before in a vehicle. Yes, it's great visibility, but it goes beyond that because it also has auto dimming rear view and side view mirrors. So you guys can see that in the shot I'm showing you right now. It's pretty darn cool. I've driven other cars that have had that, but I've never actually seen it in action. So kind of tints the mirrors in like a bluish hue, dimming them of course, so any lights behind you aren't blinding you. So that's kind of cool too. But anyways, let's now make our way to the exterior because there is a ton on the exterior, not to mention the interior, that makes this thing so freaking special. So let's move on to the exterior. It's the first thing I wanted to mention on the exterior is the 7 Series has been redesigned for the 2020 model year, definitely for the better in my opinion. Up front you will find 40%, to be specific, 40% more front grille, making for a bolder statement up front, and of course that being an active kidney front grille where the flaps swing open and shut depending on if additional cooling is needed for the engine or not. To the sides, icon adaptive LED headlights will come standard. Adaptive meaning the headlights will swivel based on the direction that you are turning, better illuminating what's around the bend at night so you don't go hitting any deer. That's definitely nice. Automatic headlamps of course will come standard, but also automatic high beams come standard as well, and LED daytime running lights as expected, but also some additional cues in the front bumper to help direct air around the wheel and tire as well. Then make your way to the side, you will find power folding heated side mirrors, and they will come of course with integrated LED turn signals as well. Taking a look down at the wheel setup, 19-inch alloy wheels with run flat tires will come standard. However, there are 7 other wheel options available, including the 20-inch design that you are now looking at. Also wanted to mention on the side, actually there are ground illuminating lights within the exterior door handles, and that's what you're looking at right now. I found that pretty cool as well. And yet another additional feature on the side I have to mention is the soft closed doors. So meaning if you don't shut the door all the way, the car will kind of suck the door in like a vacuum. Definitely a high-end feature found on high-end vehicles like the BMW 7 Series. So that's pretty cool. Make your way to the back, adaptive LED brake lights, again standard, and just below it all, integrated dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips. So you guys know what we have to do next. But first, before we do this, I wanted to mention, depending on the driving mode, it will adjust the exhaust note slightly. If you keep it in comfort, it's going to be a little quieter. However, if you put it in that sport driving mode, the exhaust note will be a little more pronounced. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys. And as always, here is that exhaust clip. Now, since we are around back when it comes to opening that rear trunk, easiest way I had found is just simply press the button on the key fob, but it is all powerized, so there's no manual lifting you have to do with that trunk lid. But Once opened up, cargo capacity is going to come in at 18.2 cubic feet, and there is a power outlet in the trunk as well. Making our way up to the rear legroom, perhaps the most I've experienced personally, 44.4 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the back there. Also wanted to mention there is 4-zone climate control that comes standard with the 7 Series, meaning those 2 rear passengers both can each set their own temperatures back there. So that's pretty cool back there as well. And the list goes on for the rear passengers, including a rear seat center armrest with a tablet holder with cup holders, and there's some optional features for them as well, including rear window sunshades, which we happen to have, ventilated and heated rear seats available for the rear passengers, along with massaging rear seats as well if you wanted it. And that all comes with the luxury rear seating package that goes for $3,900, so it's there if you wanted it. Reclining rear seats with the footrest is available as well, but overall seating is definitely quite comfortable. And I forgot to mention there's illuminated vanity mirrors for those rear passengers. That's an option as well, but we do happen to have it, so had to mention it, along with a large rear window sunshade as well. So really the perfect car for a vampire, at least if you're in the back seat. But making your way up to the front seats, 20-way power adjustable front seats will come standard, along with 4-way power lumbar. They of course will come heated and ventilated, along with the massaging feature that will come standard on the new 750i. So that is quite nice after a long day at work. You drive home getting a massage, it's always a good thing. And that seating will be finished in a Napa leather regardless of which setup that you go with. But looking forward, there is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. It will come leather wrapped. Also, it will come heated. Then when it comes to the startup, let me first start by showing you guys the key here. And we do happen to have the M Sport package today, so you do have the M colors on the side of the key, but it is a heavier weighted key. Definitely feels very high quality. You got your lock, unlock, and a button to pop the rear hatch. And for those of you who don't know, that BMW logo in the middle, that is going to be your lock button. But then to start this one, there is a push button start just to the right of the gauges. There is a remote start that's available with the cold weather package. That's going to add $750, but I am simply just going to put my foot on the brake here and press that engine start button. And so, but then once started up, there is a digital gauge cluster, 12.3 inches to be exact, that will come standard on this one. Speedometer is going to be on your left along with the digital speedometer. Tachometer is on your right, and there is a navigation display that will display front and center. And in addition to that, there is also a head-up display projected on your windshield, giving you things like, again, your digital speedometer along with the speed limit of any given road. And it also tells you other things like if you need to fasten your seatbelt, navigation information, etc. But now let's take a look at my personal favorite part of this one, the overall interior quality. Quilted stitching within the leather will of course come standard. And there are several wood trim options, including chestnut, American dark oak, poplar wood trim, and there's actually several more options in addition to that as well. Ambient lighting will come standard, universal garage door will come standard, but perhaps my favorite optional feature that we do happen to have on this one today is the panoramic sky lounge LED roof. So essentially what that does is it takes that LED lighting that you currently have, the ambient LED lighting, and it gives you that within the panoramic moonroof. And at night, you guys can't really tell now, but at night it kind of looks like LED little stars on the moonroof. It looks absolutely amazing. And of course you can change up that color as well. It's just like the ambient lighting. You can adjust the color up there. That's part of the executive package, and that package goes for $3,900 if you were interested. But that is probably my favorite interior feature on this one. But also standard wireless phone charger. There's plenty of USB charging ports in this thing as well. So all in all, very high-end finish to this BMW 750i. Very impressed. Let's make our way now to the tech display. A 10.25-inch high-resolution color touchscreen display will come standard. And there is some new technology here as well, including users can now configure up to 10 different pages, moving around different icons as needed, much like a tablet, to kind of make things more convenient if you wanted to. And of course, just like some of the other BMWs, this tech display does respond to gesture control as well. My personal favorite is turning my finger in a circle, turning up and down the volume. I always enjoy doing that in BMWs. Bluetooth and audio streaming will come standard, and perhaps my only constructive criticism on this entire car is Apple CarPlay will come standard with a 1-year trial, meaning you have to pay for it after that 1 year is up. Also, no Android Auto available for this one, so my lonely phone is out on this one. But factory navigation will come standard, which is essentially what I use Android Auto for, so that's nice. And of course, you can check out your radio settings up there. When it comes to the sound system, you will get a 16-speaker Harman Kardon surround sound system with 600 watts. So You guys know what we have to do next. Let's turn on the radio, see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Okay, bass is insane, that's a given, but wow, clarity, substantially better than most cars. I would say 99% of the cars I reviewed, the clarity is spot on. You can definitely tell there are 16 speakers in this thing. It comes at you from every angle, and again, the clarity is amazing. But then on the tech display, last thing I wanted to mention there is when you do put the 750i in reverse, you will find a rear view camera where you can adjust the angles as well when you put it in reverse. And it is a 360-degree view camera, so meaning you have that top-down view as well. So really, you're gonna have absolutely no issues when you're backing up. Anyways, that is gonna lead me into safety. And so as expected, you will find front, side, inside curtain airbags. In the back, you have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. But when it comes to the latch, one of the cool things about this one, which I've never seen, is to get to the latch anchors, you have a tiny little zipper that you have to zipper down. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that, and I love different. So that is definitely a cool little thing I wanted to mention. Also, when it comes to standard safety on the 750i, you will get daytime pedestrian detection, frontal collision warning with city collision mitigation, speed limit recognition technology, as I mentioned to you guys, lane departure warning, blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert, adaptive cruise control and auto dimming rear view mirror and driver's side exterior mirror. And there's also one additional safety package I wanted to mention, being the driving assistance professional package that goes for $1,700. But that's going to give you specifically something that I wanted to mention called traffic jam assist. And this is where the 750i really takes full control, steering the car for you, keeping it centered in the lane, but it also maintains a desired distance from the vehicle in front of you, and it speeds up and slows down as needed, so you really don't have to do anything when you're in a traffic jam. But so anyways, that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. I had a blast doing this one. Appreciate you guys joining me. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.